Hi, hello, namaste. Welcome back to Needs of Children. In the previous session, we are discussed about the 10th standard English medium social science. In that history, unit number 10, continued part of the political developments of 20th century. In the previous session, we get the information about the great dictators like Hitler and Mussolini, the concept of Second World War. So let's come to in this session we are going to get the more information about this lesson. Chinese Revolution. China is one of the ancient countries of the world which has rich history, and even it was not completely a colonial like India. Colonial, not under the control of any other country like India. Because of India, it was come under the control of the British when it fought for its independence. It was a semi-colonial country, as some part of it was independent. It was under the rule of France and Japan also. China basically was a feudal country, and it was controlled by landlords as well as warlords. It did not have industries like India. In this situation, the integration and unity of China became more important. So in the year 1911, under the leadership of Kuomintang party's leader Sun Yat-sen, anti-imperialist democratic revolution took place, but it did not grow fully. As a result of that, the Communist Party started in China in the year 1925. It groomed movements in rural areas and city areas. It supported farmers' movements and workers' movements. In order to build a unified China, the Communist Party and Kuomintang party worked together. After the death of Sun Yat-sen, the Kuomintang party came into the hands of oppressionist ruler Chiang Kai-shek. He joined hands with imperialist forces and started attacking the Communist Party's bases. Around 70,000 revolutionaries were killed in these attacks. In order to arrest the Communist Party members, Mao Zedong started a long march to the northern part of China. This is one of its kind military march in the human history. This was welcomed by the rural people with the great enthusiasm. During the Second World War, Japan attacked on China. Here it is, Japan attacked on China. The Chinese Communist Party fought against this and came into prominence during this invasion. Japan accepted defeat in the year 1945 when Japan started withdrawing from the regions of China. The Communist Party occupied these areas. It announced land reforms in all these places. It distributed land to the farmers. This garnered more popularity the Communist Party. This brought more popularity for the Communist Party. Like this, more areas came under the control of the Communist. Even though some portions were under the control of Chiang Kai-shek. By 1949, most of the cities came under the control of the Communist Party. Chiang Kai-shek had to run away to Taiwan. On October 1st, 1949, People's Liberation Army entered Peking, means Beijing. Like this, People's Republic was established in China. Mao Zedong became the president of China. After the revolution, community farming was introduced in China. All were provided with free health, education and other facilities. Importance was given to science and technology in order to achieve growth in industrialization. Meanwhile, Leap Forward program was planned and implemented. The private property was converted into as a public property. While implementing these policies through the Cultural Revolution, many mistakes were committed. In order to rectify these mistakes, Deng Xiaoping brought in many reforms in the year 1979. Now, China has adopted capitalist principles within the framework of communism and moving ahead as a major economical force with the Communist Party leadership. So that's the concept about the China Revolution. Let's come to the concept of Cold War. The mistrust, competition and fear that emerged between the two blocs of the world after the end of the Second World War is called as the Cold War. The Cold War is the war between the capitalist bloc led by USA and the communist bloc led by USSR. The question whether communism or the capitalist is the right answer for the evolution of human problems had always divided the human society since 1917. But this became sharper after the end of the Second World War. This remained so till the collapse of USSR in 1989. India, Egypt and other countries started non-allied movement and stayed away from the blocs. From the two blocs like capitalist and communist. Due to the Cold War, the competition to stockpile weapons grew. As a result of the Cold War, the competitions to stockpile weapons grew. USA gained upper hand in this competition. USA tried to enter into an agreement with the sell its weapons across the world. It formed more military organization to have hold over as many countries as possible. Among that, some of the organizations, military organizations called as NATO, North Atlantic Treaty Organization, and another one military organization like SEATO, that means South East Asian Treaty Organization. CENTO, that means Central East North Treaty Organization. So these were formed under the leadership of USA, United States of America. As under the leadership of USSR, Warsaw Organization was formed. On the other hand, USSR has formed Warsaw Organization. In every state of USA, huge arms manufacturing factories were formed. The competition for nuclear weapons increased. Apart from this, the competition have military base in other countries. Establish intelligence networks to wage space war to have better technologies has been increased a lot. The entire world entered into a invisible war, increasing the tensions between these two blocs, USA and USSR. Meanwhile, Korean War, Vietnam War, the Suez Canal crisis of 1956, the Berlin crisis of 1961, the Cuban Missile Crisis of 1962 and many other crises emerged due to the Cold War situation. Among that, Korean War. So here it is, the Vietnam War, the Suez Canal crisis, of 1956, the Berlin crisis of 1961, and the Cuban Missile Crisis of 1962. The Cold War, which continued on equal basis, started leaning in favor of USA after 1985. USA was successful gaining the control over the resources of the world. USSR became victim to economic crisis and many other internal crises. USA has remained as the only powerful country after this and has remained the sole superpower in the world. So let's come to how the emergence of USA as a strong country. The great economic depression that affected USA in the year 1927 brought in many changes in the politics of USA. USA had helped the Triple Entente with money and soldiers. In 1929, USA experienced stagnation in economic development. As a result, output dropped in automobile and agriculture. There was also drop in the output of consumer durables manufacturing, mining, shipbuilding, and many other industries. This economic crisis led to changes in the politics. During Second World War, Japan attacked Pearl Harbor, the military base of USA. Here it is how it is bombed on the Pearl Harbor, the military base of USA. This made USA to enter the war in favor of Allied forces. The President Roosevelt made people to ready for war. He encouraged women to work in public sphere. USA won the war, and it was also helped the establishment of UNO, United Nations Organization, during the war and later provided its support to it. USA has emerged a powerful country after 1945. With the end of Cold War, USA has become the only superpower of the world. So that's it about today's session. I hope you have understood till now what we are discussed. In case if you are having any doubts related to entire lesson, you can comment in the comment box. I will solve your doubts. I will come back with the next video. Until, keep watching my channel. Thank you. Have a nice day. See you in the next session. Bye bye. Take care.